Hello everybody, Phobos here. Welcome to episode 19 here on the KubiKraft server. Last time we were here, we built this wonderful lookout. And like I was saying in the previous video, it looks so much better during the day, just with all the quartz actually lit up and just the nice horizon in the background, everything like that. It is truly a very nice sight to walk out of the nether onto a platform like this. Now, I would like to take a moment to address a question that I received in the comments. Basically, the question was, what happens if I don't have elytra or rockets or anything like that? And yeah, I'm kind of stuck down there. Well, let me show you. So this here is a new addition to the bunker. Now, it's basically just a standard nether portal, and the reason why I put it down here is because any portal within 128 blocks of that beacon is going to take us up to the nether roof. So it doesn't matter if it's this one here or if it's the one that's over by the iron farm. I have a couple other that are scattered around as well. But basically, we pop out, pop back in, and we should be up on our lookout. Bam, just like that. And then of course, this wasn't asked, but I might as well cover it as well. Let's just say that we need to get down. Oh, and we have rubber banded. But if we need to get down, we can always just grab an ender pearl from here. So that way we're covered for getting up and down without elytra, which I think is actually a pretty decent system. It's pretty efficient. So in our last episode, we were working on our storage system here, and we're going to kind of touch on it a little bit today, but it's not going to be our focus, just because I came to realize that if we're going to be putting, I think it worked out to something like 30 shulker box loaders on either side, along with a couple of other systems and whatnot, we're going to wind up with a tremendous amount of redstone being used, and we just don't have the supplies for it right now. So that means that we need to build a witch farm. Now, again, I've been listening to the comments, and I've basically heard that some people aren't really a fan of me droning on and on about redstone. So what I'm probably going to wind up doing is just talking a little bit about the build in a time lapse and just kind of some of the design decisions that I've gone with. The reality is that it's not going to be my witch farm, so I'm just going to leave a link in the comments below. And of course, if you want the full technical details, you can just take a look there. But yeah, there's a couple of reasons why I went with it, and I'll just kind of focus on the less technical side of the redstone. But yeah, so this here I'll give a full tour of everything that we're going to be putting in later on, and the netherrack's going to go. Trust me, this here is highly temporary. It's just I have a tremendous amount of the stuff, so it made it easy to just kind of say, hey, look, this is where the walls go, all that fun stuff. So anyway, on to the time lapse. So this here is the swamp that we've decided to actually make our build in, and as you can see, I've actually started to outline the area that we're going to take over. Now the type of witch farm that we're going to be making is one that I've never really seen before. It's a suffocation style one, which means that the idea is that you set your AFK spot really high up, and then you almost don't have to prepare an area at all. Technically, I could have actually left it all as water, but I've seen I've seen a few witch farms where it was just water around, and I've visited them, and it just, I don't know, it seems a little, I don't like it personally. So what I'm choosing to do here is prepare an actual area that's completely spawn proof, but easy to walk on and whatnot. Now, what I'm doing here right now is just clearing out the center area, and you can see in the top left corner that I've actually started to etch out some stairs just to kind of get an idea of what size I'm working with. I've actually decided that I was going to go with half slabs as well as gray glass, because that, like, both materials are spawn proof and I don't have to add any extra lighting, because of course the way that witch farms work, they have to be dark in order for anything to actually spawn. So it was a nice way, and then of course putting a background of the white concrete really allowed it to look pretty fantastic. Now up here, I played around with a couple of different colors, and I liked the magenta for the glass. And the reason why it was glass is because there's something in the way that the game calculates spawns, where if you have solid blocks really high, it can actually reduce the amount of enemies that come into your farm. So that's why it has to be glass. This here, I rebuilt it a couple times because I got a little bit confused watching the tutorial, but this here is actually a shifting floor design, which most people, well, it's made a comeback in 1.12 as long as you alternate between soul sand and full blocks, because basically their toe gets caught in the block and then allows them to fall through. And right there I died. It was great. I accidentally enderpearled into a one high space, so I wound up suffocating. It was pretty fantastic, and then I got attacked by witches. So it was a fun build all in all. But yeah, all in all, at this point, it's really starting to come together, and I'm really appreciating how it's actually turning out. Now, when I was first looking at different designs for witch farms, I was always really perplexed by the fact that they always had this kind of half slab roof on top, and I could never understand what that was actually for. And it turns out that it's actually to keep everything dark, but you can still see on in from the sides. So it is completely okay to just completely encase it and make it dark, but a lot of people just go for this particular style just because it looks kind of cool. But yeah, I guess in a sense that wraps up the time that we have for the time lapse, and let's get back onto the KubiKraft server. Alright guys, this here is our new farm, and I must say that I'm actually pretty happy with the way that it turned out. It looks great, and we haven't quite gotten the drops that we wanted to just yet out of it, but I believe that's more because there's somebody else online as well with us who's kind of taken up a bit of the mob cap as well. From a technical perspective, this thing does exactly what it's supposed to do, which I'm pretty happy with, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when we actually get the server all to ourselves for a little bit. But yeah, got our temporary storage down here just for doing the testing, which is what we're actually going to swap out in just a moment. Let's actually pop back up to our little AFK spot where we can actually take a look at the loot that we pulled in. So as anyone who really watches my channel knows, I like to use the nether roof quite extensively. And I put in a little bit of effort this time just to make it a little bit more presentable. It's not just a random hole in the nether roof. I actually cleared a spot to put in some decorative blocks. So yeah, that took about an hour just to chip out the extra bedrock, but it was worth it as far as I'm concerned. Might play around with that a little bit, but I think that the fact that these blocks here don't have any darker colors like the black in them, it actually offers a nice transition into the white. I tried it with just the pure white before. It didn't look quite as good. But yeah, let's actually pop over here and take a look at the loot that we've gotten. So this here is our loot chest, and once the game allows us to open up this chest, we'll see that we haven't even actually pulled in a full shulker box worth of resources. What the video actually said is that we're supposed to be expecting about half a chest worth of each resource per hour, and this is after 8 hours, not even a full chest of all resources combined. But like I said, we've actually been sharing the server with somebody, so I'm sure that if we actually get it to ourselves, that would be a little bit different. But yeah, this here's our happy little AFK spot, and I'm pretty happy with our little way of getting up here, because basically anytime that we're going to be using this farm, we're probably going to be coming up here first to do some AFK and then jumping down to get our resources. So we'd come in from the nether roof and we would have our little portal here. And let's just say that we didn't have any of our resources or any of our equipment with us. We can actually grab one of the many ender pearls that we have kicking around here. And yeah, just kind of pop down, right? So say if we lost our wings for some reason or whatever, we can always safely get down here. And you might be thinking, there's water everywhere, why not just jump off into the water? I may have died trying to do that at one point. So yeah, not a great plan. All right, so the next thing on our to-do list is the storage system. Now, this guy here will actually do 7 different types of items. The main one that we were interested in was, well, the main 2, gunpowder and redstone, because this here is our total supply of rockets. So yes, rocket fuel is fantastic. But anyway, we have 7 things that we need to sort out, and I've been trying to think of where I want to put this thing. My best guess as to where I want it to go is right beside our portal. So I was thinking of having, like, say, 4 items on one side, 4 items on the other. Then it's kind of like, as we're going to go, we can just, bam, come in here, grab something, and go. Now, the only tricky part with that is that with it being 7 items, we'd be able to do, say, 4 on one side, 3 on the other. It makes sense to have a miscellaneous chest, I guess, but I was thinking that another resource that we can actually AFK for is sugarcane, and we don't have a proper sugarcane farm just yet. So what I'm thinking is, well, I'm toying around with the idea of maybe having like a sugarcane farm underneath here that's always in effect while we're AFK for everything else, and then have it all go into the centralized storage system here. It's just a question of what do you do with the miscellaneous. So I'm going to do some thinking on that and come back with, with the final result. A quick update with some good news. We've had the server all to ourselves for the past hour, and we managed to pull in all of this. That's not too bad. It's still not quite what the ilmango video had promised, but this is just the way that servers work sometimes, you know. The way that, especially being on a Spigot server, we're going to wind up with less items, and that's just kind of how it works. But yeah, all in all, if we can get this every hour, I'll be pretty happy. So I was working on the storage system as we were talking about, and yeah, I realized that I needed concrete and that I didn't have any more sand, which is a little bit of a problem, but that is okay because there's actually a new member of our server who came to the rescue. Technically, his name would be Perkeblum Sleuth. However, we just call him Sleuth, and I'm pretty sure that he's just a fan of the Problem Sleuth series and all that fun stuff. I don't know a whole lot about it, but yeah, long story short, he has actually provided us with a bunch of sand, which I was pretty happy about. Very happy, because at this point I just didn't really feel like hitting up a desert and doing a bunch of mining so I can then convert everything to concrete, yada yada yada. You guys know how I am about concrete. So yeah, I love the stuff. It looks great, but yeah, it's just pain in the butt. So that being said, yeah, just wanted to give you a shout out and thank you for your generous gift of sand, because it's really coming in handy right now. And since we're in town, it also makes sense for us to take a peek out of the mall here, check up on the drop shop, but look at this. That's pretty fantastic. I've never really been a huge fan of the horizontal beam, just going to be honest about that, but it is still really cool that this is an indestructible block in the game that, yeah, we went through quite a bit of trouble to get. So congratulations, Kaio, on your trophy. So here we are at the drop shop, and let's just take a peek here. So we've had a couple of people. I've actually been trading Elytra on the side for services, so we don't have as many as we used to, but woohoo! We got a sale. That is fantastic. The store has finally pulled in something. What about our horse armor? Is anyone? Yeah, no one. Don't I have? I have horse armor. I do. Okay, so I'm gonna have to throw that into the chests, but yeah, let's continue taking a look here. Iron. Oh, people, look at this. That's fantastic. 20 diamonds so far. That is not bad. And I bet you nobody's really bought fish. Oh, someone got hungry. Nice. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly restock here and then head back over to our main build. Just in case anyone was wondering, this is what happens when you AFK near a portal. Oh dear. I'm guessing that what happens is on the overworld side, a pigment will spawn in and then it wanders into the portal and then they all just kind of wind up over here. Let's try a little bit of this. That's right. Nothing quite like the sound of witches dying. It's fantastic. I'm very happy with the results of this place. Except for this. I don't know what this is about. I've tried everything in my power to fix it. There's actually, I had full blocks with slabs on top at one point and it was still coming through, so I don't know what's going on there. But as you guys can see, there is no storage system up this way. And it's not that I didn't build one, it's that I have actually gone and created 4 little entry places that all connect. So this way we can actually come in underneath into little corridors, and yeah, first thing I'll showcase is the sugarcane farm. Now this here is actually a design that was heavily inspired by impulseSV. Basically, every 30 seconds or so, those slime blocks come out and they punch the sugarcane. It's any second now. But anyway, I took a basic idea of having a clock and having a single piston with slime blocks and all that fun stuff, and just kind of had to make it fit the space because, yeah, there we go. In behind here, I'll just show you guys the in behind here because it's kind of crazy, So storage system, we'll get to that in a second, but yeah, basically trying to squeeze the farms into an area like this. It was pretty ridiculous because we got the sorter, like the item sorter for the storage system, and then we only had like a couple blocks. Like the glass is like right on the other side there. So we only had a couple of blocks worth of space to fit the redstone, and I somehow had to make the redstone not only come up here, but also go under there and then back over here. So these fire at the same time, and just, it was a bunch of craziness. But I did manage to get it all to fit, and yep, pretty proud of myself for doing that. Now, if we can just get our way out of here. Replacing the concrete. Don't know how to sing. Gonna do it anyway. Okay, here we go. So, storage system. Bam. Pretty basic stuff, pretty basic. At some point, I might upgrade it to so it automatically loads everything into shulker boxes and whatnot. But yeah, for now, it's fine just the way that it is. So, all the witch drops, miscellaneous, and then sugarcane. And this over here is my attempt at a crafting system. It was completely my own design, and just to kind of show that I'm not exactly, I'm great at modifying other people's designs, coming up with my own, not so much, because the whole point was that I was supposed to say throw gunpowder here, paper here, empty shulker box here, and then actually let's kind of showcase that just a little bit. Bam, with some bam. And the whole point was that you push the button and out came all three, and then you would just go unload that, craft your thing, and then put it in the shulker box there. But there's some problems. Like when you break them, they don't go into the hoppers. That's because it's powered with torches, and it's a bad design. It's just all in all, it's just bad. It's just bad. So the way that I've been using it is kind of just coming in here, grabbing a bunch of redstone as an example. Just popping out the one chest, and then it just kind of, makes it a little bit easier, I guess. But yeah, that's the gist of that. So you can come in here, enter chest, all that fun stuff, and quickly craft up things. But yeah, to show off how much we've actually made, we have, say, about 1.5 shulker boxes of things, as well as what's in here. Sticks are out of control. Sticks are just ridiculous. We've already got 4 shulker boxes full, this full, that's half full. It's craziness. And our sugarcane farm is actually chugging away pretty good here. I mean, like, I've already gone and turned a bunch of it into paper. I've actually made rockets as well. So this here isn't a true representation, and there's a random egg somehow. I'm still trying to sort that one out, because I checked back there. There's no chicken, so I don't know where that egg came from. But that might answer the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg. Anyway, dad jokes aside, yeah, this is what we did with the place, and I'm pretty happy with it. The general theme of the gray glass with the concrete and all that fun stuff. So yeah, all in all, I'd call this place a success. The only thing that's really missing is something we'll take care of at another point in time. We have spider eyes and we have sugar, but we don't have any mushrooms for making the fermented spider eyes. So probably going to throw a brown mushroom farm in here at some point. But yeah. Well, guys, I was kind of hoping to get around to maybe working on the lookout a little bit today, but we are basically out of time. So what I'm thinking we'll do is, now that we have all of these nice, beautiful, beautiful resources here, we might as well take a trip down to the drop shop and actually drop off some of this stuff and, make everything look kind of like a store. So we're going to put on sale glowstone dust, redstone dust, sugar, glass bottles, and fireworks. I was thinking of doing gunpowder, but honestly, we technically have a source of free gunpowder and free sugarcane at the community center. So why not just take the work out of it? Just, here you go, have rockets. It should be a good idea. It should be a good idea. That's how a lot of modern businesses work. I mean, you could do the work yourself, but who wants to do work? Who wants to do work? So you're paying for the convenience. But yeah, it's gonna be nice to actually see the drop shop have some merchandise in it for once. Well, guys, I must say it's really nice to finally see some new merchandise coming into the shop. This shop was pretty barren for a while, and yeah, it's nice to see. Now, what we're doing price-wise is I've decided to go with 4 stacks per diamond. So it's pretty reasonable, and a lot of that was actually just because the dust types should all be about the same, and honestly, I had to compare my glowstone to Scooby's sea lanterns just down the hall, and yeah, realistically, if you're going to pick up 4 stacks of these for a diamond, it actually winds up being cheaper than 2 stacks of sea lanterns a stack for 2 diamonds. So that's where a lot of that came from. Now, something that I've been meaning to do, this here is not even labeled. Our fish has been way too expensive. As you can see, a diamond per stack. Nobody is going to pay a diamond per stack for fish. So we're going to do something really crazy. So here we go, guys. 9 stacks for a single diamond. That's insane. That is a crazy price. Now, that being said, almost everybody on the server has either a fish farm or an ocean monument or both, and fishes everywhere and all that fun stuff, and no one's going to buy it anyway. But hey, you know what? At least I can say that my prices are definitely reasonable. 9 stacks for a diamond is a decent deal, and if I was hungry enough, I would definitely fork over a diamond for that. With that being said, we have ran out of time, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you saw here, definitely hit that like button. And if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, hit that notify button, all that fun stuff. This isn't your first episode, you guys know what to do. But that being said, this is Phobos signing off. Enjoy. I know. It's pretty lonely in here. You'll be okay. You have your boat. You'll be fine.